What if I told you there are plants so vibrant, so impossibly colored, that they look like they were created in a dream? Some sparkle like crystals under the sun. Others burn with shades of blue, red, or violet that seem almost forbidden. These aren't your ordinary houseplants. They're nature's most spectacular works of art, scattered across the globe, from the misty mountains of Asia to the dense rainforests of South America. And most people don't even know they exist. Today, I'll take you on a journey through 10 of the most breathtakingly beautiful plants in the world. Each one more mesmerizing, more unique, more soul-stirring than the last. These plants don't just decorate a room. They change it. They enchant it. Some are rare and wild. Others, surprisingly easy to care for, if you're lucky enough to find them. But be warned, once you see the colors of number 4, you might fall in love. And when we reach number 1, you'll realize something. Beauty doesn't just grow in gardens. Sometimes it hides in the shadows, waiting for someone to notice. So stay with me, because what you're about to see will change the way you look at plants forever. Number 1. Coleus. At first glance, you might think someone spilled paint on its leaves. Neon pink veins cut through lime green. Blood red blends into dark purple. And some varieties even look like burning embers frozen in time. This is Coleus, a plant that seems to defy the rules of nature. Originally from Southeast Asia, it was once hidden in the underbrush of tropical forests, catching only slivers of sunlight, yet bursting with color, as if trying to outshine the canopy above. What makes Coleus so special isn't just its palette, it's the infinite combinations. No two leaves look exactly the same. Some are speckled, others marbled, and a few look like they've been kissed by fire and shadow at the same time. And here's the secret. It's not a diva. Coleus thrives in pots, window boxes, or shady garden corners. It's forgiving, fast-growing, and easily propagated from cuttings, which means once you have one, you can have dozens. But perhaps the most magical thing about Coleus is the way it responds to light. Place it in the right spot, and its colors deepen, shift, and even change completely over time. It's a living canvas, evolving before your eyes. A plant this vivid feels almost too good to be true, but it's real, and it might be the missing spark your home's been waiting for. Number 2. Rainbow eucalyptus. It doesn't bloom with flowers. It doesn't need to, because its trunk, yes, the trunk, steals the show. Imagine a tree that looks like it's been painted by an abstract artist. Streaks of bright green, deep blue, fiery orange, maroon, and even lavender slide down its bark in smooth vertical layers. This isn't a fantasy. It's real, and it's called the rainbow eucalyptus. Native to the Philippines, Papua New Guinea, and Indonesia, this tree grows tall and straight, often reaching over 200 feet in its natural habitat. But it's the way the bark peels that creates the magic. As the outer layer sheds, a fresh lime green underlayer is revealed. Over time, that green matures into blue, then purple, red, orange, until the trunk becomes a living rainbow. And no two trees ever look the same. In warm climates, it can be grown ornamentally, and even in containers when young. But be warned, this tree thrives in humidity and sunlight. In the right conditions, it grows fast, almost as if eager to reveal more of its wild colors. Standing next to a rainbow eucalyptus feels like stumbling upon a secret doorway to another world. People stop, stare, and whisper, "Is that real?" And once they touch it, their fingers tracing the shifting hues, they never forget the feeling. This isn't just a plant. It's a spectacle. And it proves something profound. Sometimes the most extraordinary beauty doesn't bloom. It peels. Number 3, Persian shield. It looks like metal, not cold or industrial, but like shimmering silk forged in violet and silver. The Persian shield doesn't need flowers. Its leaves are the show. Iridescent purple flashes across a dark green background, as if each vein were brushed with moonlight. Depending on the angle and light, the colors ripple, sometimes appearing magenta, other times deep indigo or electric lavender. It's not just beautiful, it's hypnotic. Native to Myanmar, this tropical perennial was once a closely guarded garden treasure of royal estates. It thrives in warm, humid environments where its metallic sheen is most pronounced. But what surprises most people is how well it adapts indoors. In a bright room, especially near indirect light, the Persian shield becomes a living jewel, radiating color like stained glass at dawn. Its leaves are long, spear-shaped and slightly textured, giving them a tactile allure. Just brushing your hand over them feels like touching something ancient and sacred. And as it grows, the plant forms a bushy, upright shape that makes it ideal for decorative pots, shaded balconies, or lush, colorful arrangements. What's even more remarkable is how quickly it grows from a simple cutting. Give it water, warmth, and light, and it returns the favor with a color show that seems too magical to be natural. In a world where green is the default, the Persian shield is a reminder that nature has a flair for the dramatic, and she's not afraid to shine. Number 4, Caladium. Imagine a heart painted in soft pink, vivid red, mint green, or even ghostly white. Now imagine that heart is alive, fluttering gently in a summer breeze, catching the light just enough to make you stop and stare. That's Caladium, often called angel wings. And once you see it in person, you'll understand why. Native to the lush forests of South America, especially Brazil, caladiums were once hidden beneath the jungle canopy, where dappled light touched their broad, paper-thin leaves. These plants don't bloom in the traditional sense. Their true beauty lies in their foliage. And what foliage it is. Some varieties look like watercolor paintings, with soft edges that bleed into each. Others seem etched in contrast, with dark veins slicing through snow-white backgrounds. There are over 1,000 cultivars, each with its own unique pattern like living tapestries. Some have translucent leaves that glow when backlit by the sun. Others change shades depending on the time of day. And perhaps the most enchanting part? Caladiums disappear in winter. They retreat underground, only to return in spring with even more intense colors as if they've been reborn. They thrive in warm, humid climates, but they can also grow beautifully indoors, especially in well-lit spaces that avoid direct sun. They're surprisingly easy to care for, and once established, they multiply, offering more and more color with each season. Caladium doesn't just decorate a space, it softens it, warms it, and turns it into something poetic. Number 5, Blue Mystique Orchid. It's the kind of blue that makes people question reality. Soft yet electric, delicate yet striking. The Blue Mystique Orchid doesn't look like it belongs on Earth. It looks like it bloomed in a dream. Its petals seem to glow from within, each one a silky veil of celestial blue that deepens toward the center. But there's a twist, and it's a secret most people don't know. This orchid isn't naturally blue. It begins its life as a pure white phalaenopsis. Then, through a special process developed by horticulturists, a non-toxic blue dye is introduced into the stem, altering the pigment in the upcoming blooms. The result is breathtaking. A flower so rare in appearance that many refuse to believe it's real. And though the next cycle of blooms may return to white, that initial burst of blue remains unforgettable. But here's the thing. Even without the color, Phalaenopsis orchids are living symbols of elegance. Their blooms can last for months, hovering like butterflies in still air. They require very little water, prefer indirect light, and reward even minimal care with long-lasting, graceful beauty. For those who crave something unique, something almost magical, the Blue Mystique offers a moment of wonder. It reminds us that color has power. It stirs emotion, sparks curiosity, and sometimes tricks the eye into believing in the impossible. When placed in the right room, this orchid doesn't just brighten the space. It becomes the center of gravity, drawing eyes and hearts alike. Number 6, Croton. It looks like autumn set fire to a plant and froze it in time. The croton is wild, unapologetic, and utterly unforgettable. Its leaves explode in a riot of color: fiery reds, blazing oranges, golden yellows, deep purples, even flashes of green that seem to struggle for attention. No two leaves are exactly alike, and that's what makes it so mesmerizing. It's chaos turned into beauty. Originally from the tropical forests of Malaysia, India, and the Pacific Islands, the croton was once revered in sacred gardens and temple grounds. Its leaves, thick and waxy, twist and curl in unpredictable ways, sometimes long and narrow like ribbons, other times broad and rounded like painted shields. The colors, they change depending on sunlight, age, and even temperature. One day it's mostly green. A week later it's glowing like stained glass. But don't be fooled by its dramatic appearance. Croton is tough. It loves sunlight, heat, and humidity. And with the right care, it can become a towering bush of color, several feet tall. Indoors it needs bright, indirect light and a little patience. But the reward is immense. A living sculpture that evolves with the seasons. Croton doesn't whisper beauty. It shouts it. It dares you to ignore it. And once it's in your home, it's not just a plant. It's a statement. If you're looking for something subtle, look elsewhere. But if you want drama, life, and color that won't apologize, Croton is waiting. Number 7, Japanese Maple, Fireglow. It doesn't just grow, it glows. The Fireglow. Japanese maple seems to trap sunlight in its leaves, turning every breeze into a flicker of flame. At first light, its crimson-red foliage ignites, like stained glass catching the morning sun. By evening, it deepens into a rich burgundy, pulsing gently in the twilight. It's not just beautiful, it's spiritually soothing, like a flame that never burns, but always warms. Native to Japan, this variety of Acer palmatum was cultivated specifically for its luminous red leaves and compact elegance. Unlike larger maples, Fireglow stays, modest in size, making it perfect for small gardens, patios, or even large pots. Its branches grow with a graceful upward curve, and its leaves, each one shaped like a delicate star, seem to shimmer with life. People often stop and stare, unsure whether they're seeing a tree or a piece of living poetry. But what makes this maple truly magical is the way it changes with the seasons. In spring, its red tones emerge soft and tender, almost translucent. In summer, the color intensifies into a bold statement of presence. And in autumn, just when you think it can't surprise you, it ignites into a burning spectacle of scarlet and orange, like one final dance before winter's hush. The fire glow doesn't need flowers. It is the bloom. And for those who welcome it into their space, it offers not just color, but peace. Number 8, lithops. At first, you might overlook them. They don't have petals. They don't have stems. In fact, they barely look alive. But look closer, because these small stone-like plants hide one of the most unexpected color stories in nature. Known as lithops, or living stones, these tiny succulents are masters of disguise and of quiet beauty. Native to the arid deserts of southern Africa, lithops evolved to mimic the pebbles and gravel around them, blending into their surroundings as a survival tactic. But once a year, and only for a short time, they break. Their camouflage with a bloom so pure, so bright, it feels like a secret finally being shared. Some produce daisy-like flowers in white or yellow, but the real show is in the bodies themselves. Shades of pale jade, muted pinks, stormy grays, rusty reds, and even marbled purples ripple across their rounded, split surfaces. Each plant looks like a tiny brain or a pair of lips or an alien pebble sculpted by light and time. And when they bloom, the flower seems to burst from the very center, as if the rock had cracked open to reveal a soul. They're slow growers, patient and quiet, but they're easy to care for and thrive indoors with just a bit of light and water. Lithops aren't here to impress at first glance. They ask you to stop, to notice. And in return, they teach you something rare. That beauty doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Number 9, Rex begonia. There are leaves, and then there are Rex begonia leaves. Velvet-like, spiraled and painted in impossible shades of silver, burgundy, raspberry, forest green, and sometimes even near black. This plant looks like it was dreamed up by a fantastical painter, not grown in soil. The patterns twist and swirl like galaxies frozen in foliage, each leaf a unique and intricate composition. Originating from the humid forests of northeastern India and southern China, the Rex begonia is a member of a complex hybrid group, carefully cultivated to exaggerate its most stunning feature, its foliage. While some varieties resemble curled seashells, others take the shape of pointed hearts or asymmetric blades, with textures that range from smooth to rugged, matte to iridescent. And the colors, oh the colors, shift with light and time, revealing hidden veins, shadows, and highlights you didn't see the day before. Unlike many dramatic plants, the Rex begonia thrives indoors, provided it gets indirect light, stable humidity, and gentle watering. It's a bit sensitive to overcare, almost as if it prefers to be admired more than handled. But treat it right, and it rewards you with a continuous display of exotic beauty, season after season. It doesn't need to bloom to be unforgettable. In fact, its flowers are modest, sometimes overlooked entirely, because in the case of Rex begonia, it's the leaves that tell the story, bold, emotional, unpredictable. It doesn't just grow, it expresses. And in a quiet corner of your home, it might just become the most powerful voice in the room. Number 10, red-veined nerve plant. It's small, quiet, almost shy. But when you look closely, it reveals something extraordinary. Leaves so vivid, so sharply veined in crimson, they seem to pulse with life. This is the red-veined Fittonia, also known as the nerve plant. And once you've seen it up close, it never leaves your memory. Native to the steamy rainforests of Peru, this ground-hugging plant evolved beneath dense canopies, where only fragments of light reach the forest, floor. Maybe that's why its leaves seem so intense. It's like nature poured every drop of color into them to make up for the shadows. The Fittonia Red Star variety is particularly dramatic. Dark, matte green leaves etched with veins so scarlet they almost glow. It's a pattern that looks hand-stitched, delicate yet powerful, like embroidery made of blood and chlorophyll. But don't be fooled by its size. Despite its compact form, the Fittonia has a strong personality. When it's thirsty, it wilts dramatically, leaves drooping in surrender, only to rise again with just a sip of water, like a phoenix lifting its wings. It's one of the few plants that seems to talk to you, if you're willing to listen. It loves humidity and low light, making it perfect for bathrooms, terrariums, or cozy indoor corners. And in the right pot, white ceramic, dark stone, or clear glass, it becomes a living jewel, pulsing gently, quietly, confidently, in a world of loud colors, the Fittonia whispers. But what it says stays with you. Some plants bloom for just a moment. Others carry their beauty quietly, leaf by leaf, year after year. But all of them, from the fiery maple to the whispering Fittonia, remind us of something we often forget. Color is not just decoration. It's emotion. It's memory. It's life. When we bring these plants into our homes, we're not just filling space. We're opening windows to distant jungles, ancient forests, silent deserts, and secret gardens. Each one carries a story of survival, of transformation, of wild, unapologetic beauty. And somewhere in their patterns, their petals, their veins, we find pieces of ourselves. So, if one of these plants made your heart pause, if a leaf made you wonder, or a color made you feel something you haven't felt in a while, don't let that go. Find it, grow it, let it live with you, because a home isn't just walls and furniture. A home is where beauty breathes, where colors dance in the morning light, where something green and silent waits to be noticed and loved. And who knows, maybe the most extraordinary thing about these plants isn't their color. It's what they awaken in you.